Welcome back to the RV Solar channel, and today we are working on a little shorty school bus here. How many windows is that? 4? I think so. We're going to be mostly just doing solar today. For their battery and inverter system, they're doing something a little bit different, but I am seeing it more and more common, and it's a great way to go, and we'll get into that here in a bit. But for solar, we're doing 800 watts on top, and I'll show you how to install that if you're doing that yourself or you're just curious. So follow along. Love to have you along for the ride. So as I was teasing, what they're doing is actually using a Bluetti here. I forget the exact make and model on this. AC 200 MX 248 watt hour. So that's almost 2 kilowatts of battery in there. That means there's almost 2 100 amp hour batteries, or pretty darn close to what would be in one of these SOK batteries that we use quite a bit. So that's a pretty good deal. And then we're just going to go right into that for the solar charger, and they're just going to run off of that, and that's going to work just fine. And I think you can even stack more batteries on these. So we'll show how that works in here once we get this done. But let's hop up on top of the roof. I'm going to show you what we're doing there. So as usual, I like to lay things out before I wire anything down, before I screw anything down. I got one panel flipped over just because we're putting the mount in, or not the mount, the entry gland. And just to go over a couple of different options we went through. We thought about going, well, we were always going to put 2 panels here, but there's been some thought about maybe doing a deck on the back. But that would mean putting this set of panels closer here, and we would cover up the escape hatch, which, when this isn't in commercial service, isn't quite as critical. I mean, I don't think any standard RV has an escape hatch, but they were thinking about wanting to use that for a vent, or maybe build a party deck or a little, sunset deck, whatever you want to call it, right here in the middle. So we ended up moving the panels back, and we're going to leave that open space right here. And I do like to leave a little walkway right across here to just so you can get to service or maintain the panels, clean them off, all that sort of stuff. As far as the solar panels go themselves, we're using the Rich Solar 200 watt 24 volt, which means, let's see if we can get that in focus here. That means they're running at about 45 volts. 36, 37 under load. And that Bluetti down there is capable of, I want to say, 150 volts into it. And what this allows us to do is we're getting the volts up higher on the solar part of the system, so we're not going to have as much line loss. We're going to run both of these in series, run them together in parallel, and send them down those wires. So we'll be running at about 90 to 70 volts during working range. So that'll work out pretty good. Then I've already got some work done here. Got my entry gland put on here. It's just one of these things. You can find these on Amazon. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to buy one of these. It'll be an affiliate link, so on this I might get like 5 pennies, which, if I get 20 of those, that's almost $1, I think. But seriously, boy, I love buses. If nobody knows, I have a bus conversion myself. This back panel, I can't speak to these ones, but this back panel here is aluminum. I think they're all aluminum, actually. So it cuts super easy, super clean with the hole saw, but it's not going to deteriorate. These, you can tell these are starting to rust a little bit. I'm actually thinking about hitting that with a little bit of paint for this customer. I'm going to talk to him about it first. But before I put the panels down, I may just do that. But yeah, anyway, ran the solar wires up through here into the gland, and then I'll put ends on here and the 2-to-1 combiner right in here as well. So let's go down below and see how we're doing things there. All right, we're at the back of the bus here, and let's see how we ran those solar wires down. You can see that little white spot up there, that's where the hole in the roof is. And then I cut 2 small holes with a step drill through the corrugated ceiling, and then ran the PV wires up through there. I ran them one at a time. It was a little pain, but there's just some normal strand insulation or fiberglass insulation up through there. You can just push it right through. I didn't need to fish tape or anything. The wire's stiff enough where it's kind of its own fish tape. But that way the wires, you know, they're pretty much already ready to be tucked away somewhere. This is where the Blue Yeti's gonna sit. So just left a bunch of slack there and should be good to go. We got Austin helping out on this one now.
You're doing more YouTube?
Yeah, he's working on making the crimp. We're just using needle nose pliers for this. Where's that going? Is that going anywhere? That looks like a good crimp to me. Okay, and then we just slide this right over. Other way.
Oops.
Until you hear it click or feel it click. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you tighten it up. And then we hook it up right here. So this is our. Now this is our. There we go. So these two are in series, and we ran separate lines back to there. You can see our 2-to-1 adapters, and then we'll put the other panels, flip that one over, and then start screwing them down. I think I'm gonna have Austin on the outside with a ladder, doing those, and then I'll do the inside, and we'll be almost done with this.
Okay.
All right, Austin, what did we just finish doing?
Screwing stuff in.
Yep, we got panels screwed down. Got the zip tie anchors on there. Got to clean off the surface as best we can. But I think we're in good shape. I think we're going to call it for tonight, and then we're going to finish up the rest in the morning. Probably by myself, because this guy's going to be sleeping in probably. All right, next day here, we are at the back of the bus. And we just got the Blue Yeti out, and I wired up the solar breaker, and it may look kind of weird there. You might be like, hey, Soda Solar, why are you just dangling it there? Well, it's because we don't know how they're going to finish this out, and I don't want to make assumptions about it. I don't want to drill holes where they don't need to be drilled. So what I'll do is I'll talk with the customer and show them, you know, how they can mount that box. I even tried to leave them enough slack where they can reposition it a little bit and do whatever they want with these wires. They're all pretty safe. Just don't screw into them, of course. And plenty of slack here. So that way they can finish this out however they'd like. So here is how we make it into the Blue Yeti from our solar. We come MC4s out of there, because that's an industry standard connector, into the Blue Yeti PV connector, and I believe these are 12 gauge wires. So we've the breaker there is a 20 amp actually. We typically use a lot of these 30. It's probably easier to see it this way. 32 amp. That's typically what we use for larger systems where it's all 10 gauge wire, but because it's a little bit smaller on this, we are gonna play it safe. And then from there, then we go right into the solar input there. So I have it on. Forgive me, my lens must be a little bit dirty there. Let's see if we can see what's going on here. I'm discharging a little bit because I want to take this out and test the solar here in a minute. Currently the solar, it's trying, but it's just using the power from my shop lights. So it's trying its best to pull amps out of it, but it can't really. So we'll take this outside and see how that works. All right, now we're outside. Got a Zuki and a bear there. There they go. And it's not super bright, as you can tell. Looks like we're getting about 45 watts in. That'll work. Can't compete with this little space heater though, but it's doing its job. Maybe we will turn this guy off, and I bet the solar will charge it the rest of the way up without a problem. So that is how you connect roof solar on your van or bus conversion, shuttle bus, whatever you got, and you just want to use a simple Blue Yeti. I totally get why, this works super well. I mean, there's no complexity here. Typically it would cost a lot more. It would take us almost a full day to assemble all the components that are in here, onto something. The thing you want to consider with that, though, is if anything goes wrong with this, the entire thing is kind of out the window. Now I believe you can expand them with additional batteries. You are kind of stuck with your inverting power, but it probably does just fine for most people. So anyway, just things to consider. Lots of different solutions, and we're here for it. We are here to help you guys out. So if you've got two jokers like this, maybe, that you like to go camping with in your van, RV, school bus, what else? Suki, what else? Anything that's not connected to the grid that you need to keep powered, give us a call. Check us out online, sotasolar.com, SOTASOLAR.com, and we'd love to hear from you. Thanks.